Hey, friend, welcome back to the episode this week. I am so glad you're here because today we're kicking off a brand new month and a brand new theme. September is going to be all about getting our systems reset. So be sure to check out the next 3 episodes because we are going to be digging deeper. First, let me explain to you why. And it's literally because Q4 is around the corner. Like, I can't even believe it. So, if you've ever felt like you start the year off strong, right? And then October comes and bam, it's like you've gotten hit by a wall because you've enjoyed summer. And maybe you're a mama and you have kids at home, or maybe you take a break with your business during the summer, which is fantastic. But then you realize, like, after school starts, after all of the things that Q4 it's it, right? And we're all making the final push. And I just want you to know, A, that you're not alone. But most CEOs, even the ones who look like they have it all together on Instagram, lose steam in Q4. And it's not because they don't care, right? And it's not because they're lazy. But it's because most of the times their systems weren't built to sustain them. And so today I want to talk about what it looks like to actually build Q4 without burning out. And I'm going to share 3 critical systems that you need to have in place. And they're really, really, honestly so simple. The first one is your time system. I know we talk about time all the time, literally. The second is your money system. Yeah, we're going there. And then the third is also a big one, but it's your delegation system. And I say that they're simple. And the reason why I say that they're simple is because when you get the hang of it and when you find your power inside of all of these, that is your bread and butter. That is where you are actually feeling the flow of your business. So let's break it down and talk about it. Ever wonder what it really takes to build a business and a life that feels like yours? Welcome to That Big CEO Energy. I'm Callie, entrepreneur, operations whiz, and your go-to for the real, raw, and unfiltered side of business and life. Because let's be honest, entrepreneurship isn't just about strategy and success. It's about figuring out who you are in the messy middle, trying new things, well, just because you can, and creating a life that actually fits you. From solo deep dives to candid convos with powerhouse business owners, we're talking all about the highs and the lows and the "why did no one warn me about this?" moments that come while chasing big dreams. So let's get uncomfortable, embrace the chaos, and make it happen. Why is Q4 so dang hard, you guys? Like, can we just say that out loud? I will say it out loud for all of us. But we have like our January energy, right? Like our Q1, we're starting off super strong and we're doing the thing. And maybe it rolls into Q2, right? That's like April, May, and June. And then once school is out, it is like our brain shut off. And I always say that it's sort of like this, whether you have kids or not, it's almost like we've been conditioned that by the time June comes, and it is from years in school, right? Like it has nothing bad attached to it, but it is what it is. And it's like the summer comes and we want to be outside and we want to play and we want to do the things. And it's because that has been our life. That has been our life. Like, especially if you live in America and you don't do all your schooling, like by the time June hits, you're done. You're like capped out. You're like, I want to drink with an umbrella in it and I want to travel and I want to do the things and enjoy the season, right? And then what happens is when the schools get back in session, you're like, okay, Q4, we're going to do it. we get the kids all ready to go in September. Maybe we're thinking about Q4, but when October hits, we literally have October, November, because December is also a wash, right? It's like there's nothing you can do to prevent this cycle that is happening. But the truth is that you actually can. And I remember when my Q4 just looked like garbage. Not even garbage, hot garbage. And I remember saying to myself, I'm not going to launch anything. I'm just going to focus on client work and I'm just going to take my time because Q4 is hard for me, you guys. And if you are a business owner that also struggles with seasonal depression, then you know that by the time October comes around, it's actually from October to February where you're like, I just don't want to do anything. And that's where I was in my business. It felt like I was just sort of like duct taping together all of these pieces, trying to make it work. And I realized that I needed to start way earlier and use all of September when my energy is high to be able to get myself through October, November, December, because I didn't want to miss out on running a cool thing during, the winter months and watch my peers like do all of the things. I wanted to do that too. I genuinely wanted to do it, not because I felt like I had to, but because I genuinely wanted to do it. And so one of the things that I realized is I had to take a step back and I had to start so much earlier. And that's where I'm trying to get a lot of my clientele is thinking about like October, September, like, okay, what is Christmas doing? Right? What do you want to do during Christmas? And then let's start working on it now so that when that season actually comes, you're not settling into panic mode. And here's the reality of the situation. We don't lose steam because we're bad CEOs. We lose steam because we didn't plan for our own humanity. And so when we don't plan for who we are during the months that are coming up, that's when we feel like a failure. That's when we have this panic mode that sets in and we work twice as hard. We miss out on all of the fun during the holiday season because we tell ourselves that we're not good enough and we didn't do enough. And so we must work so much harder when in reality, we just didn't plan. We just didn't set ourselves up for success. And it's hard, right? It's hard when you're working by yourself. But Q4 is not the time to hustle harder. It is the time to lean in on the systems. And now, even if you spend all of September getting your systems in place, October, November, and December are going to move so much smoother. So let's talk about our first system, which is time. You guys, I talk about time all the time because it is so important. It is so important. We overfill our calendars with so much fluff. It is ridiculous. I think about even a year ago when I would just fill my calendars with meetings after meetings and podcast interviews after podcast interviews and coffees here and friend meetups there and book clubs here and all of the things. And we do, like, we genuinely want to do all of the things. We do. And that is okay. But when we overfill our calendars and we overfill it to the brim until January 1st, where is the time to actually do the activities that move the needle of your business forward? Think about that for a second. And maybe we're logging into our calendar right now as we're talking about it and saying, where are the things that I need to cut out to give myself more white space? And the white space is not like I am just hanging out, twirling in my office chair. The white space is designed so that you can work inside of your business, especially if you don't have a team. And one of the concepts that I have adopted is CEO time. And I put it on my calendar, and it is a totally different color than anything else on my calendar. But CEO time is this concept of working on your vision, working on the strategy that's going to bring that vision to life, and making the key decisions so that we can build a better calendar for ourselves. And if your calendar is only filled with execution tasks, you'll always feel behind. The reset here is learning how to protect your time like it's your most valuable currency, because it is. When you protect your time and you set the boundaries, even with yourself, right? When you are setting boundaries on your calendar with yourself and putting in that CEO time or putting in leisure time, whatever that is, you are starting to understand how you are running your day, and your day isn't running you. And that then also feeds into you are running your business, and your business isn't running you. So think about that. Think about kind of this concept of time. Maybe take a little bit of time in your calendar to say, like, what is actually happening here? And then can we move things off of it? Before we get to delegation, which also ties in the calendar, I do want to talk about money, because Q4 is the time that we are getting our end of year expenses, right? We're thinking about tax season. Oh, it's the worst. Tax season is the actual worst. And we're also thinking about our revenue goals, right? We're looking at kind of where am I at right now? What do I need to kind of make the final push to get to what I said I was going to make on my big audacious goal? And we're just trying to put it all together. But most of this burnout happens when we don't have the clarity on the money, when we say yes to things out of fear instead of alignment. And so when we think about our money, we have to think about what the clarity is inside of the money. So do we have enough cash flow? Are we pricing with confidence? And are we giving ourselves enough of a runway that if something falls apart at the end of this year, we still feel good about the money that we are making? So when your money has a system, your brain actually has peace. And your brain actually can then go back to what we were talking about in our CEO time of working on our vision, working on our goals, working on the things that are transforming our money into making us feel really, really good. And money is such a sensitive subject. It is so hard for me to sit here and say to you, like, oh yeah, everybody should be making six figures, or everybody should be making $200,000 a year, when the reality is maybe that's not for you this year. And that's okay. That's okay. But you need to understand where your money is coming in, how it's coming in, why it's coming in that way. And then we need to understand, am I happy with this number? Am I at peace with this? And if not, what are the things that I can do to bring value to what this money is saying to me? And when we say value, it's not about the monetary number. The value is the peace that it gives you. Most of the time, we don't stop to think about money in such a way because we're too busy paying bills, right? Like, we just see it come in and then it has to go out right away, right? But when we are able to see the money, where it's coming from, how it's operating, and then we're able to really align with, are the places where my money is coming in aligned with who I am? Do I need to start adjusting in a different way? Because here's the thing. You can be doing money generating activities that you absolutely hate. You can, and most people do. But they don't stop doing it because the money's too good, right? So how can we, yes, let the money make its course over here? And then over here, how can we do the things that actually bring us joy and doesn't cause burnout? And the reality is you can't even get there unless you understand where your money is and how it's coming in, right? The clarity that comes with working inside of our money. So one of the action steps that I want to give you is go through and figure out where your money is coming in. What are all of the revenue sources? And then I want you to track your expenses. Because the other thing is most of us are paying for subscriptions that we don't even use. Yup, I said it out loud. Most of us are paying for subscriptions we don't even use, even inside of our business. We've paid for a tool that maybe we started using this side of the other tool and that's really working, but we're still paying for this. You guys figure out what it is that you're actually using and get rid of the rest. Because here's the deal. That gives you an automatic revenue increase. You're welcome. You're welcome. So track your money, where it's coming in. Track your money, where it's going out. And then figure out if you have peace about that. Because when you have peace on where your money is coming in and where it's going out, that allows you to take your mindset off of that, do a check-in every week, every day, whatever it is, and you can focus on working on other things. When we don't understand anything about our money, when we don't even know where it's coming in, there is a subconscious thing that thinks that we have to work twice as hard. And when we can remove that, when we can understand that, okay, this is exactly how my money is operating, incoming and outgoing, I know exactly what I need to do. And then we can focus on activities that actually matter, right? So this system of money does matter. System 3 is delegation. And this is the worst one that people hate to talk about. But please don't click off. Please don't leave me. We're here. We're together. We're going to talk about it and it's going to be okay. It's going to be just fine. So I am no stranger to delegation. And I am no stranger to delegation, both in the positive and the negative. And I'm sure you are too. Because there was a time that I didn't delegate. I didn't give a single thing away because I thought, I'm running my business by myself. I can do all the things. I also am at home. So I manage most of our home. And so I didn't realize that this delegation portion was actually chewing up a lot of my time because I wasn't doing it. I was doing things that didn't matter, both in my clients' businesses and my business. Not to say that their business doesn't matter and the things that they're doing doesn't matter, but it's to say that I didn't have to be doing that activity. And the reason why is because I had said, yes, I can take that on and I can do it, which is just fine. But then I didn't have anybody to pass it to. And it was like an admin thing, right? It was in my zone of genius, but it wasn't high enough on the totem pole that I need to be doing that as a reoccurring activity. So what happened was I got super serious about getting help. A really good VA can change your life. I'm not even going to try and tell you that I do anything different, but a really good VA can change your life. But I thought that having a VA was a nice to have and didn't realize that it was a must have inside of my business. And there are affordable options. There are really good places that you can find really incredible people. And it takes a little bit of vetting, and I totally understand that. However, if you do nothing, you become the bottleneck. And when you are the bottleneck, you don't even realize it until you are in dire straits. So when you start feeling like that super icky feeling inside of your business, and it's like you feel like you're just running on the hamster wheel, you need a person. And you probably needed a person way before that. But when you try to do it all because you think that you have to do it, that really is giving you a disservice to who you are and what your zone of genius is. You can let go of small things. You can have somebody on the payroll that is available when you are, and you can move things over and they can get them done quickly. There are those people out there. You have to go and find them. But in this system of delegation, there are sort of three components that go with it. You have to decide what it is that you need to delegate. And again, there are ways to decide. One is it in your zone of genius? Is it something that you like to do? If the answer is no, it needs to be delegated, especially if it's not in your zone of genius. Listen, as business owners, we wear so many hats, but I can assure you that as the visionary of your company, you are not supposed to be doing the operations. You are not supposed to be doing all of your finances. You are, so there are key people that we need to be working our business up to be able to bring on board, to be able to delegate to them so that you yourself are firing on all cylinders. So we need to decide what that is. Maybe you are getting an accountant before you're getting a VA. That's totally fine, but you need to delegate something, okay? Maybe you are getting an operations manager before you're getting a VA who can also take on some of the VA tasks because they have a team, right? Like you need to decide what that is. And most of the time, it's by reflecting what is on your calendar and how much admin work you are actually spending inside of your business. That is a key indicator. And so I always tell people to be able to decide this. To be able to decide this, it means that you have to time track your day. And it means that you have to get super serious about the things that are causing a hiccup. And do I need somebody that maybe knows a little bit more than what I know? And if the answer is yes, then you know. The second part of that is you need to document everything. I will tell you, I have so many training videos on all the things, and it's because I just start recording and explain the steps that I do. And then I ask ChatGPT, you guys, to create an SOP so that I have a framework for what it is that I'm going to be asking the person to be doing. Now, that's to say, if I hire somebody that is, a step up from a VA that can look at the system and the tools that I'm using within the system and say, hey, I think this needs to change. Great. Absolutely. But at least then they know what I'm currently doing and it's documented. And then you're able to delegate it. And why are you able to delegate it? Because you have training videos, you have SOPs, you have all of the things, and you are so much easier able to onboard somebody and they can get up to speed faster. And then you're not having to spend 2 to 3 hours a day training them. And then you feel like, well, this is a waste of time because I can do it faster. I know you can do it faster, but that doesn't mean you should be doing it, right? So delegation is not about giving away control. In fact, it's all about giving yourself the freedom to lead. Lead yourself, lead your business, lead the team that you are creating. So here's the reset. If you want to finish the year strong without burning out, you need these 3 systems. You need a time system, you need a money system, and you need a delegation system. And lucky for you, I am going to be launching a mini course that walks through each one of these so that you can get it together and you can get it together right and you can get it together fast. And if you've been craving a reset, then you know that it is time. It is time to move the needle of your business forward to make Q4 not feel like you are just white-knuckling your way through it. You can reset, you can simplify, and you can finish strong without burning out. I promise you. Let's reset and build the kind of Q4 we actually want to live. Hey friend, thanks for hanging out with me today. If something in this episode clicked for you, I want you to shoot me a DM over on Instagram. The link is in the show notes. Let's chat about how you're making the messy middle work for you. If you loved what you heard, would you mind sharing this episode with a friend who needs to hear it too? And drop a quick review if you don't mind. It helps get the word out, and I appreciate it more than you know. Catch you in the next one.